How often can you say you've been changed, really changed by a party?
Supernova began in Sydney back in 2002. 15 years later, Australia's homegrown Comic-Con Gaming Expo has gone from strength to strength, with the lineup this year of celebrities including Corey Michael Smith from Gotham, Tom Hopper, Merlin, Leigh Majors, of course we all remember Leigh, don't we? $6 Million Man, Austin St John, Power Rangers, and my special guest today on the program, Jessica Harmon, who played FBI agent Dale in iZombie, and countless other movies and TV roles too. Jessica's on the line from Canada. Jessica, nice to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me with you. This is a pleasure.
You come from quite a showbiz family.
A little bit, yeah, we do. Yeah, Dad's director, Mom's producing, and Rick and I are both
Actors.
attempting to act.
Well, I don't think attempting. You do a darn good job, you and your brother and your dad and your mum. That you're all in it. I suppose you were destined then, weren't you, to become an actor, do you think?
I think it was in the cards for both of us. I was saying that to someone earlier, that being raised on film sets, it wasn't that we were in any way pushed. If anything, we were persuaded to go the opposite direction with our lives. But just growing up on film sets, Rick and I became really accustomed to being around adults and specifically, crazy artistic filmmaker types. And when we finally settled in Vancouver, my parents wanted to be in a city where they could, stop moving us from school to school so much when they were in film. So they switched to television. And at that point, I was almost 10, and I wanted to go back to set. I didn't understand why I wasn't on set all the time. And the only thing for me to do at that point to get myself back there was to be an actress. So they were very supportive, and as long as we focused on school, it was all right that we were acting. And when we both graduated, I'm 6 years older than Rick, and he followed suit. But when we both graduated, we wanted to take it more seriously, and so we did. And yeah, we've been very fortunate. People have opened their
Jessica, what was it? Was it the glitz and glamour in those days that attracted you as a 10-year-old, and you thought, gee, I like that glitz and so on?
Oh, God, no. No, if anything, that's like a repellent for us in the industry, I think. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that side of the industry, but we were raised by crew members on set. So really, for Richard and I we've both discussed this at length many times, and we just like being there. I just like making movies. I like being a part. I don't want to be the star of the show. I like just being part of the mix. I like being part of the storytelling process. I love films. I love watching television. I probably watch too much of it, but at least I pretend it's research. But I've got that. I'm just like, I just need to watch another season tonight because, for research things.
Yes, of course, of course.
We of course, right? It's acceptable now. But to binge watch television series like I do. But yeah, no, we just wanted to be on set. That's to me, it kind of always ended there. When I finished a film, it was over. And the premieres and all of that nonsense to me was nonsense. It was just like I don't like being photographed. I get awkward in front of that style of camera. When it's acting, it's strange because I'm not paying attention to the camera. It's fine, but the red carpet stuff has always made me a little uncomfortable. Hopefully I've gotten better at it over the years, and I've grown to accept it and now love it in its own right. But for us, it was just about being on set, and we started acting at a young age. So when we became old enough to make the decision to go behind the camera if we wanted, I think we were both pretty comfortable where we were. So thank God. It's worked out for both of us.
Jessica, 1997, Outer Limits. That was your first foray into the screen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. How old were you there? You would have been about 12, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the first episode of Outer Limits I did was, I think it would have been 95 because I was 10, and then I did a second episode in 97. You're right about that. We did a sequel episode, so 12 for that one. But yeah, The Outer Limits, which was great because I was a huge Twilight Zone fan. So when The Outer Limits came around, I already loved the show, and then I got to be on it, which was just once I had a taste of it, there was just no going back for me. It just became like the most important thing in my life was to be on set and act. It was just so much fun. I don't think I was any good back then. Hopefully I've improved, but I enjoyed myself, I can tell you that.
You won a Leo Award for a performance in Wolf Canyon. Now, this was a pilot, I believe. It hasn't been shown, I don't think, has it? It never became a series? No,
I think it aired. Yeah, I think it aired in Canada, it might have, and then possibly some other parts of the world, just as like a one-off kind of episode. But no, it didn't. Unfortunately, it didn't get picked up, which was a shame because my father directed it. My mother was a producer on it. I was in it. My brother had a small part in it that would have developed into more if the series had continued. And it was just a blast to work on. I mean, we love working together, so any opportunity to do so is great. But to do that comedy, and my parents it was like a massive passion project for them. They still talk about it. They still want to somehow get that series
to develop that.
Yeah. I would be behind because it's hilarious. But I was fortunate enough to be given a lovely award for that, which meant a lot because it was our family's show.
Well, I was going to ask about that family because I read that the whole family was involved in this, and it must be very special to be able to work with family. Do you all get along well in the industry, and you're working together so close like that?
Absolutely not. They're a bunch of shitheads, but a lot of them I hate them all. No, they're wonderful. It's amazing. It's such an incredible opportunity. We're a very close family to begin with, and then to have the opportunity to occasionally get to bring that onto set. There's never been any trouble with us on set ever. It's really always run quite smoothly, and we know each other so intimately that you can judge when someone's having an up or down moment, and we know how to help or walk away from it. So it's actually been quite great. And then with Richard specifically being on the 100 at the same time, we've gotten to go to several conventions together, which has been just a godsend. Like, it's been an incredible experience for us to be around the world together, and it's actually brought us a lot closer.
That's nice.
As siblings as well.
That's lovely to
hear, it's fun. Yeah.
Tell me about you playing in Battlestar Galactica.
Ooh, I have to think back. That was a while ago now. That was awesome. That was towards the end of the series too. I think it was right after the series finished because I did this like webisode thing that they had going on at that time. And so I was really happy and fortunate that I was able to just sneak in there at the final hour. I had a blast on that. The character, I mean, the actors had been doing it for years, so they were, very professional and well equipped at that point. And I got to be a pilot. Like, I got to be in like a spacesuit and fly this
yeah, I love the dressing up by the sound of it. Yeah. And of course,
so that was awesome.
Things led on, and iZombie came along too. How did that go for you? How did you land that?
iZombie was phenomenal. That came around right after I landed the 100. Within the next month, it was I don't know. It just came out of the blue, and I went into casting here in Vancouver. We put it on tape. I never even met with producers or directors on it, and they based it on one of our executive producers, Diane. My character was I didn't know at the time, but kind of based on her personality. And it just happens that we have a very similar personality. Me as Dale Blasio is quite similar to who Jessica Harmon is. So I didn't have to stretch too much for that one. I'd like to pretend that I was able to create this huge character, but it's actually quite close to who I am. So that was kind of a dream role because she's just sarcastic and like weird and kind of an oddball, and working with that entire cast is incredible. Malcolm Goodwin is like just one of my favorite people on the planet. He's just such a wonderful person. So they all just welcomed me in like it was one big happy family, and it is. And we were all remain very close to this day. So that was was a really special. I'd say that was one of the highlights of my entire career was getting involved with that show.
Jessica,
and I love the show. I don't
it.
watch a lot of shows that I do, but I watched that one.
So you do watch it back later on. What do you say to yourself about seeing yourself on screen? How does it come across?
That's a loaded question. It doesn't always come across great. I can tell you that. I've never been an actor that I understand why some people don't like it. I don't particularly enjoy it because you end up kind of picking apart your own performance and why did I do that or this, why did the other. But the shows that I've been on the last couple of years, I mean, not to say that the ones before weren't, but the writing is fantastic and it's really well organized. The crews on both shows I'm currently on are phenomenal, and so I'm very relaxed on set at this point in my career, and I think that's starting to show. So it's actually kind of nice to watch the shows at this point. I can tune myself out a little bit, and I'm so just interested in seeing what the other actors are doing and what's happening in the story. I actually really enjoy the shows, so
that's fantastic.
It's a lot easier for me now.
Jessica, what's coming up next for you?
Well, the 100's currently still airing, so that is still on the go. And then I can't say anything towards iZombie at this point, but there's always the chance that Bosio will pop back up. So everyone, hopefully, cross your fingers for that.
Right.
And then currently, because I'm definitely not allowed to talk about that. But currently, I'm shooting a series for ABC called Somewhere Between. I'm doing a few episodes with them right now before I come to Australia, actually. So
somewhere between. We must look out for that one if it comes to
Somewhere
Australia.
Between.
Yeah, somewhere between.
Yeah,
right,
it might be a little bit. They're only on the 3rd episode right now.
Now, you're coming out to Oz, and you'll be here in Melbourne on the 29th and 30th of April, and you're going to be doing a Q&A, I believe, questions and answers under a general admission, and you're going to sign for people, have photos taken. It's going to be a marvellous weekend.
I can't wait. I'm thrilled. And Marie, who plays Octavia on The 100, is coming with me, and she's one of my best friends in real life. So the fact that we get to go do this together is hysterical. It's going to be a riot. And I've never been to Australia, so I'm really looking forward to checking it out. And there's all these fun things we've planned for us and meeting everyone. I love conventions. I love hanging out with the fans and getting to know everyone on the ground and hearing what their feedback for us is. So I'm really looking forward to this. And I've had a week off of this con tour, so I'm happy to. I've rested enough. I'm ready to go.
Good. And you need some time in Melbourne too to look around. We've got some lovely attractions down here, so spend some time if you can and take in some wonderful, wonderful sights. Jessica, thank you for your time today. A busy lady. I do appreciate what you've done for us today on the program. I dare say we'll catch you on the weekend of the 29th and 30th. A very safe flight out to Oz, and enjoy your stay.
Thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure. Looking forward to seeing everyone that comes out. And thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
My special guest, Jessica Harmon.